Hello and welcome to the Life by Design podcast, brought to you by Strategic. This podcast is all about helping you live your great life.
Hello and welcome back to the Life by Design podcast. My name is Jay Shalansky, and joining me again this week is Greg Mattacola.
Happy to be back.
Yeah, and this is very exciting. I feel like all the podcasts up until this point, I've been asking questions and haven't really been a subject matter expert on something. And so this, for both of us, is something we're both very passionate about,
Yes.
have a lot of experience with, and are trying to implement here at Strategic, and that is unreasonable hospitality.
Absolutely. No, you are as well versed in this topic as anyone, so you're right in the thick of it.
Yeah, and it's very exciting for me. And there were some things here at Strategic we were trying to accomplish, and you, myself, Katie had all had experience with this, with the understanding of this, and it just kind of came out that like, hey, we should bring this to Strategic.
Absolutely. I forget when I first read it, but when I did, and it's been within, I think, the last 2 years, I was messaging Alan Least about it, saying this is one of the better professional development books that I've come across. And boy, oh boy, is it making me feel and think differently about the client experience and just how to make people feel like they are part of something special. And I'm super excited that we have rolled out this formal introduction of these concepts to the office as a whole. People seem to really be taking to it, and we're really just getting started. So yeah. the possibilities of this and the upside to me are endless, and I'm super psyched.
Yeah, same. And I think maybe for this first, we're going to have a couple episodes talking about this. And I think maybe for this first one, for the folks at home that may be new to this, we're going to focus on the book, a little bit of the background of the author and where the book comes from. And I think we'll gear it more towards, for this first one, kind of how if you have a business or if your job or what you're doing in your personal life as a listener or professional life, how this could apply to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we continue the series, we'll dive into how we're utilizing it here at Strategic and thoughts of where it could go in the future and all of that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So basically, to start us off, just a quick synopsis of the book. It's Unreasonable Hospitality is the name. The author is Will Guidara. He was in the restaurant business, mostly on the front of house of restaurant businesses. And if you read the book or listen to I highly recommend the audiobook. He reads it himself, which is always the best audiobook when the author reads them. And, it's kind of partially his life and how he got to where he was, and where he ends up is at 11 Madison Park, 3 Michelin star, ends up getting it to a 3 Michelin star restaurant. It's one of the best restaurants in the world, right out of New York City. And the book kind of highlights not only his life story of how he got there, but then how they got the restaurant to be the best restaurant in the world.
Absolutely. And it's a neat voyage that he takes you on. And this restaurant was a very good restaurant. It certainly wasn't anything to sneeze at, but they took it from very good to just exceptional. And it wasn't that the food changed per se, because they had the same world-class chef. It was how they made their customers feel and the levels and extent to what they would go through for their customers.
Yeah.
And that's really, it resonated with me in so many ways, because I've been a business owner. I once, way upon a time, bartended and waited tables in college and law school. And a lot of the examples rang true.
Yeah.
But you can immediately start thinking about how to apply that to the field that you're currently in. And it's certainly something that is built into our DNA here at Strategic. This company was founded by Alan Lee Sr. and Judy Sweet, and the two of them, if anybody's ever come across them, They're just exceptional people that put the customer first, the client first, always, and go above and beyond for the client. And that has been, embedded in what we do here at Strategic from day one. And these concepts and keeping, all of these things front and center, just expand upon that and let us really elevate that client experience, and make people feel that sense of belonging.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, beyond that, right? The book touches on this too. And some of the focus is also not just clients, but how we're treating each other internally as well, right? And that is clearly something Strategic is very passionate about. I've been here a little over a year. And frankly, I'm going to be honest with everybody at home. When I first was applying here and interviewing, and I'm sure you guys have all seen it, the Serve, Grow, Live, Life by Design. I was like, that's great marketing. Great marketing, right? I'm like, this is interesting. I like the marketing. And then as I came in, met people, started to, get intertwined in the company, I was like, oh, this isn't marketing. This is, they believe this and live by this, right? And so, for those of you at home that have seen that and maybe thought the same way I did, I could tell you it's real, and it's serious. And I think Unreasonable Hospitality is an extension of that for us. That, like you said, they've been doing this from the beginning, 45 plus years in this business, this company, and I guess longer in the business, but for this company, 45 years. It's in the DNA of the company. This isn't new. It's just the application and the tools in order to get you there and to be unreasonable in your hospitality with other folks.
Absolutely. And like you, right? I've not been here 20, 30 years. I came 8 years ago. And the big reason I came and made such a career shift from the law to finance was that feeling that this seems like a different place to work, right? I mean, you can find a challenging livelihood and job in lots of places. There's lots of challenges that you can go undertake. But for me, I want to be challenged, and I want to enjoy what I'm doing and enjoy the people that I'm working with, and feel that we're all rowing the oars for a common purpose. And that for sure is what happened, is the deal here at Strategic. It is just the serve, the grow, the live. It is just part of who we are. It's like we said, it's in our DNA, and it just dovetails so beautifully with the concepts here of just going above and beyond for the client. And, it talks about service. If we're going to get into, just kind of a basic principle of the book, service is what you expect, right? Service is the core competencies, right? People expect us to be good financial planners. They expect us to have our investments dialed in. That's not over and above. That's expected. That's what we should be delivering on a daily basis. And that's kind of, think of that. That's black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And then hospitality is that feeling of, wow, I'm part of something special.
Yeah.
They actually know me.
Right.
They know my family. They know my children. They know my birthday. They know when I'm down. They know when I'm fighting a battle. They are intimately involved in my life, and they truly care about me.
Mm-hmm.
That's hospitality, right?
Yeah.
It's that feeling of belonging, and it goes from black and white to color. And that's really, this book, Will Guidara could have worked here and written a similar book about our values and our concepts. But what's neat is that these principles just transcend, occupations.
Well, and I'll say, it is big. I'm not going to dive in too deep, but, Greg and I and Katie here at Strategic were fortunate enough back in September to go. Will now does conferences once a year. They have the Welcome Conference, and he brings in all these amazing speakers, and they talk about business and hospitality. But one of the things I noticed in the book at the Welcome Conference, all the speakers and all this stuff is, as someone who is, everyone here knows, I'm a nut for Disney, love Disney. I'm an artist, by trade. And so like, I've always been obsessed with Disney, and as a family man and my family's obsessed with it. And so something that was very clear to me is this callback to Disney, like the speakers at the conference, 2 or 3 of them were like, well, Disney said, and in the book, Disney said. And so, I don't think Walt Disney invented it, but I think he made it popular in how he put it to use, right? And so, long story long, to get to what I was saying is some of the hospitality stuff that is kind of like bare bones, right? That makes you feel welcome or makes you feel part of something. And a great example for Disney is if you stay at a Disney resort hotel, when you go in to check in, they say, welcome home, right? Like that simple phrase, 2 words, it sets you up for your whole trip. Because now you're in the mindset of, oh, they want me here, number one. I'm part of something. I have liberties now and like the ability to do things because this is home and not just some stranger's place, right? So now I'm feeling comfortable. They have like their lobbies are, I wouldn't say they're bougie. They're just like nice to like, they've got beautiful, comfortable chairs. You go sit down, they've got TVs that are running cartoons for the kids. So like you could sit down and, the kids can watch cartoons and it feels like you're in your living room. It feels like you're home. And so just this idea of making people feel seen.
Absolutely.
And heard, right? That's at bare bones, I think, what this is.
100%. And you're right. Several of the speakers at the conference referenced Disney. There's a lot of parallels there. I have attended 2 Disney leadership training sessions and previously in life, and they talk a lot about these same things. Yep. And the thing that I like that Disney focuses on and Will Guidara focuses on, and we do here at Strategic, is giving people agency, giving people the latitude to see a situation where you can do something amazing for a client, and you've got the ability to do that. There's not 6 levels of red tape that you have to go, okay, I better go submit this form and then the moment's over. No, you can see the moment, you can act on the moment, and you can do it. And you mentioned that welcome home. It's a big part, I think, of what we are here at Strategic, is we consider this a family. And our clients are as integral a part of that family as anyone. And when I onboard a new client, at some juncture during that process, whether it's the paperwork signing, the committal meeting, whatever it is, I say to them, welcome to our family. And I truly mean that. Because that's what this is, right? We don't accept folks as clients willy-nilly. We take it very seriously. It's kind of a sacred trust that they're placing in us, and we're looking for these lifetime partnerships. So when somebody comes aboard here and we onboard and go through all of that to make them a part of this, they're now a part of this family. And it means that we've got their back and we care about them and we care about their children and their spouses and their extended family by extension. So it's an important thing here. And all this does is just helps us think more, be creative, and focus on the experience that we're delivering so that people feel that connection. They feel that belonging.
Yeah. And I would say, kind of wrapping up this part of the episodes, for those of you at home that are hearing this, and I know we're very like high level on it, but if you're hearing this or you've heard of the book, whether it's you own a business or you're working somewhere, just reading this book and coming away with a different viewpoint of how to treat your fellow humans, and whether they're people you work with, your family, your clients, whatever it may look like, I think the number one thing to take away from this book is thinking about that, making that part of your fabric, and really letting people know that they're seen and that you're there with them.
Yeah, right on. It transcends all relationships, right? And it has you thinking differently.
Yeah.
Just about little ways to surprise and delight, little ways to tell somebody that you care about them, little ways to express love. And I call it, selfish service, right? Because it is service. We are giving of ourselves, of our attention, of our time to, whoever is the recipient. But I get it back tenfold, right? If I see a smile break out on a client's face for a little surprise and delight moment, or if I feel that I've touched somebody or, made an impact, or I was there to listen and they then leave the room feeling lighter and better about life.
Yeah.
It gives me as much near as I gave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, a nice thing to drive home is this isn't a one-way street. Like, this love flows both ways. This abundance flows both ways. And it's such a powerful thing.
Yeah. And I love that. And I think, at the end here, one of my favorite quotes from Walt Disney is, listen to your heart. It whispers, so you have to listen closely.
He was not wrong.
No. So, well, thank you, everybody. And join us for our next episode.
Outstanding.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you.
This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. Please see the full disclosure in our show notes for more information.